The sports segment has got very exciting this morning, and Nathan Kwao has joined me on the set. Hi, Nathan.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Fantastic.
I'm okay.
So, tell us what we're going to expect in the sports conversation this morning.
Well, I mean, typically you would have I'd be there presenting the bulletin, but today is slightly different because we have a very special guest. Okay. Today we'll be doing some chit chat, sports chit chat there, and we've been joined by the man who has Ghana's 100-meter record.
Thank you,
Benjamin Azamanti here. Benjamin, how are you? Good morning.
I'm doing okay.
Okay, and Coach Elom Amenagwa of the University of Ghana. He used to work closely with. He still works closely with Benjamin, but yeah, Coach. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, all right.
How far back does your history go?
2018, when I got employed at University of Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah, so we met in October after the Inter-Hall games.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it started.
That's how you met. Okay, fantastic. All right, so welcome to Breakfast Daily. It's good to have you here. The day you won the record, you got the Ghana record. What was the feeling like when you discovered that you're actually now the record holder?
I mean,
describe those first moments.
I mean, every athlete look at breaking records, and also it's something I've actually been working towards, to get a Ghanaian record and move on from there. For that particular race, I would say it was kind of like a surprise to me because I knew like the preparation I've made, and I knew like the time I was supposed to run. So going in there, I didn't target the Ghanaian record. So to go in there and then run such a time, to run 9.97 for 9.97 to appear on the board, it's like I didn't expect this, but it's part of the work. I mean, it's a part of what I'm doing, and so I was extremely happy. Yeah. And I didn't think of the record because that season was for the Olympic Games. So I was happy because I've qualified for the Olympic Games. Yeah. Then again, I was like, yeah, I've even had the Ghanaian record too as well. So that is a good step for me. I mean, looking at all these things is something that is really going to motivate me. So I was really, really amazed. I was happy about the time.
Leo Miles Mills had that record. Have you spoken to him? I mean, did you ever speak to him before, or have you spoken to him afterwards? Now that you have broken his record?
Yeah. Leo has actually coached me in the World Championship for 100 in Doha 2019. So he's a good guy, and then he always tells us to go for his record. So he's someone that I had been in touch with, and even after I had run, he called me to congratulate me.
That's wonderful. Hello, I'm sure you must have been watching Benjamin as he ran down that track to break the record. Were you surprised that he did it, or you always felt that he had it in him?
Yeah, we had a conversation about breaking the record. Actually, we were talking about qualifying for the Olympics. Yes. I knew he was going to break the record, but I didn't know it's going to be the first race of the season. So I was actually sleeping. We went for a meet at Kumasi, so I was sleeping. And a call came. Azamanti broke the record. I said, well, no, I need to be sure about this. We had to go online, checking it. Yeah, so later in the night, I had to call him to congratulate him.
That's wonderful. Wow. Ben, breaking that record, of course, that race did two things for you. One, you broke the record, and you made it to the Olympics. Yeah. Let's talk about that experience in Tokyo. The games had to be scheduled a year later. Yeah. First of all, as an athlete, how did you take the rescheduling of the games? Did it affect you in any way? And then we can talk about your experience there with the rest of your team, and then that experience in Tokyo. Well,
for the Tokyo Games being rescheduled, I think it was good on my part because that season, to be honest with you, I wasn't going to qualify for the Olympic Games. Wow. Because it was the new year that I'd been into the United States, and I had not really acclimatized to everything and all that. So it being moved to 2021 it gave me a lot of time to practice and everything to be able to run the qualifying time. So I think it being rescheduled really helped me. And to talk about the experience in Tokyo was really a good one because after whatever that happened, me being fourth in my race and everything, I think I learned a lot from it. And I talked to quite some few professional athletes who really helped me. They kept on talking to me to keep my head up. I mean, It's my first time. I'm still young, so there are things I could improve in the aspect of the athletics. So it was a good experience.
It didn't get any better than running beside
Johan Blake, the second fastest human.
Tell me something. There's something I've always wanted to ask athletes. How are the lanes determined, and how did you feel when you discovered you were going to run next to Johan Blake?
I think the lanes are balloted, you know. They just
randomly.
It's just random, so you just get any lane. It doesn't depend on the time, because 100 meters is just straight.
So do you get to pick out of a hat or something?
No,
what happens?
It's just a random thing. You don't get to pick. But with the 200, it's based on your times. That's how they used to do the lanes. But to get Johan Blake, the second fastest human in the world, by you, it shows where you have gotten to. It shows
how much pressure did that put on you?
A lot of pressure, knowing that you have the whole Ghana watching you, and at that moment you are beside the second fastest human in the whole world.
But did that also, because for some people it will possibly motivate them? You know, how did that? What did that work positively for you or negatively for you?
To be honest, I was nervous because that was the biggest stage in athletics. That's the biggest stage in athletics, Olympic Games.
It is.
And to get that person beside you, I think it played a psychological game on me. But as I said, it's a learning process. So you learn from it. Whatever that happened there, I've really learned from it.
And then the relays. The relays were a very tricky thing. I mean, all of us here, we followed in the newsroom watching. And then in the end, there was the ruling that you guys were DQ. How did you guys take the entire experience, running, finishing, and then getting to know that something had gone wrong with your race?
Yeah, I think exchanging beyond the zone is something that happened. Not quite often though, but I think we had that in world relays and all that. But we were actually happy we got into the final, and getting into the final of the Olympic Games qualifies you to World Championship the next year.
So you guys are in next year's
Yes,
World
we are in next year World Championship. And looking back, I think we've really done well. World relays, World Championship 2019, African Games, we won gold, and then now we are in the Olympic Games. And every time that we run, we improve our times. That shows that we are really doing well.
Because you guys have the record now.
Yes, exactly. We have the record right now. So I mean, it's not something that would bring down our spirit. We are still motivated. We know the next coming World Championship we are really going to do well.
One thing. Okay, you go.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Elom, from a coach's perspective, you must have seen the race. Let me ask you this: when you are putting together a relay team, 4 people running 100 meters each, what do you think about? How do you think about the placement of the athletes? Is it the fastest who starts or the fastest who finishes? What are the dynamics in putting together a relay team?
Well, in my personal philosophy about relay, I put people athletes at where they will be efficient.
Okay.
When you are quick on the block, I put you to the starts. And then the relay is usually determined at the back stretch.
Okay.
That's where the race is. So usually you line up your fastest.
Which is the third 100?
No, the second 100.
Okay.
That's where the relay is determined. Then you know whether you are winning the relay from the curve. You need someone who is extremely fast at the curve to bend the curve to be able to win the race. And in doing that, there's a check mark where the acceleration will be taking place.
Yeah.
You know, I believe in baton speed.
Okay.
The baton speed is how fast the baton is changed.
It's changed, okay.
Yeah, I believe in that rather than just the speed alone. Okay. You can have all the speed. If the baton is not changed fast, you'll not be able to win the race. So I feel like Ghana's problem in the 4x1 has been the curve. That's where the curve. That's where the problem is. So we are not making good use of Joe Paul.
Okay.
We are not.
Who's the 200 meter?
Yeah, who is the 200 meter, and the guy finishing the race. He has the speed, everything, but the baton always gets to him late. So at the end of the day, you see his acceleration is slow. If he were to accelerate fast, he will leave the incoming runner.
Yeah.
So that has been our problem. I think if we are able to correct that.
So I find it interesting because when in a relay, when you're coming in, you're moving in at top speed, probably your top end speed as you're coming in. Is there a risk of an athlete mentally decelerating because he doesn't want to clash with the one who's now setting off, and so it also adds to the confusion of the changeover.
Yeah, that's why there's a check mark. There's a check mark at least take, and it's vary from the first runner to the second runner and to this. It depends on the incoming runner's speed.
Yeah,
that's why there's a lot of practice that takes place in professional athletes.
Yeah.
No matter how good you are, you have to be sure of the distance.
Yeah.
When Ben was here, the guy from Ben to the outgoing runner, they were using 30 feet.
Okay.
30 foot. That's what they were using. That's quite a long one because Ben was extremely faster than the outgoing runner.
Okay.
So you have to take all those things into consideration because if the acceleration and with the incoming runner and the acceleration of the outgoing runner doesn't match, there will be problem. It's either you delay in changing or there will be a clash somewhere.
Interesting. Kweku, they are in town for something. Let's talk to them about what it is. They have an event in Kumasi.
Fantastic.
Then what's this entire, and both of you can answer, what exactly is happening in Kumasi? We hear this very interesting athletics meet. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, we dubbed the program Junior Olympics. Basically, when you look at Ben is 23, but this time he should be a professional athlete, but he's not yet. And then anytime
he's still in school.
Yeah, he's still in school. Yeah, there's a lot of students who are pro. Yeah, a lot of time when we want to get young athletes to go for the under 17, under 20, we struggle to get them. So right now we want to get them young. We want them to fall in love with the game. We want them to grow progressively among themselves as they compete. So that when you compete under 10, in the next 2 years, you know that you'll be running under 13. In the next 2-3 years, you are running under 17. In the next 2 days, you know you are running 20. So with that, then they transit into the senior team.
I think it's brilliant because this is the culture of athletics in all these fast nations around the world. Jamaica, look, you know the funny thing is that we always talk about Jamaica and we say, oh, you know when we talk about Ghana sports, we are looking at our sports and you say, but you know, people like Nigeria, there are a lot of people there, the population is much bigger than ours,
is smaller.
Then you look at Jamaica, and Jamaica is 1/10 of the size of Ghana in terms of population, but you can see that there's something they are doing in the system. You wanted to say something about?
I can tell you that we have the talent here. When you go to Spazonas in Kumasi, you will see a lot of talent, a lot of them. You go to Cape Coast, Spazona, you see a lot of them. But the question is, after the Spazonas, what happens? What happens? They are left to, after next year, they will come again. So what we are trying to do as Creative Athletics Club is that we have a club here in University of Ghana that train kids and also the youth. What we are trying to do is that, we are hosting the game in Kumasi because the stadium is under construction. And what we're going to do is that any talent identified over there will be given to coaches. We have a lot of coaches, Jumfor Robert of UDS, who produce an athlete, run a local 10-1 here locally.
Wow.
So, a very good coach there. We have Abu Bakar, who is also in KNUST. Train Joe Paul, who is in US right now. We have a lot of coaches, so we get those athletes assigned to those coaches, and then we monitor them. Then the following year, and they come again. Look, that's what we want to do. We just want to see kids progressing to the next stage as they grow.
So when exactly is this Junior Olympics happening?
It's going to be from the 17th to 18th. That's Friday and Saturday.
That's Friday and Saturday. In Kumasi, where exactly in Kumasi?
Pajo Sports Stadium. Yeah, that's KNUST.
Okay. So how do people take part? For somebody who's probably watching us in Kumasi, is young and wants to, how do people sign up? Yeah,
we have shared a link online for registration. And then we want to be strict with age cheating. So what we want to do is that you are going to upload your birth certs, your national health insurance, anything that we can use to identify your age. Because I can't see a child because he's tall and because he has body. Then I'll say that you are more than 13, you are more than 17. No, we don't want to do that. So everything is online. And then the seniors. We want to use the seniors as a motivation factor to the young athletes. So we see the seniors running the 100 meters, they'll be running the 400 meters, they'll be running the 4x1, 4x4, and for the first time we are going to run a 4x4 mix here in Ghana. And just October, University of Ghana team ran a preseason time of 46.9.
46.
On a bad track at Elwak. So we are hoping that as Azamanti will be running for Creative Athletics Club, the relay, the 4x1. So it's going to be a tough race over there. But the concentration is more on the kids.
All right. Ben, just as we wrap it up, What's the plan for 2022? Are you planning on? I know you are running D2 now.
Yep.
Do you plan on moving to D1? What's the plan?
This is about athletics. Wherever you are, when you run fast, people get to know you.
Okay.
It's about the time.
It's about the time.
So once you run the time, everybody gets to know of you.
Okay.
So it's not about you being in D1 or you being in D2. You get it. So I'm still going to be in D2 because I'm actually under a coach who's really good, who is really helping me in a lot of aspects. So I'll still be in school, but the goal is to qualify for there's World Championship coming up next year. And then there is Commonwealth Games in the UK also coming up. The goal is to qualify for both and then go do what, not to just go participate, but this time to go win something for the country.
What kind of support would you need, you know, to really do a good showing?
Goals,
yeah. So thing is, after the NCAA season, normal college season, the country does nothing like to enter you into meet, for you to be race ready, for you to get in shape. This is what happened in the Olympic Games. After the NCAA season, I sat for like 2 months. I was not racing, I was not doing anything.
Wow.
My coaches were training me. They were not supposed to because the season has ended, but they took time to just train me. I didn't hear anything from the country like, hey, I'm entering you into this meet to go run so you can be in shape to go for the Olympics.
Yeah.
So I sat and I became a little rusty going into the Olympic Games. So that is what we have to do. After the season ends, for we that we are in college, the country has to put us in meet. Go to Europe, go run with these professional guys. If I had run with them, I would have known, yes, this is how to focus on your race and everything, and it would have really helped me.
Nathan, what is it that we as a country really should be doing, especially in the area of athletics and on the track?
It's 3 things. 1, provide the infrastructure and the funding. 2, help the athletes take part in competitions, like you said. So for the pros, they need to take part in very serious competitions. And then at that developmental level, train the coaches. I always say the difference between somebody who's here and somebody who's out there is just the elite coaching.
Okay.
Elite coaching, the fine-tuning what you have, because the talents exist. It's fine-tuning the talent, fixing their mechanics, stride, how to run, how not to waste, and those type of things. So we need to have programs to give the coaches better knowledge, and then they can now fine-tune the athletes. And then when you get out there with all the other things being in place, you find that athletes will do big things.
I was also thinking about this, and I think what you've said is like building the framework really for this to exist. I'm also thinking about what you mentioned about, you know, catching them young, you know, and adding that to the system so that we build it from the ground up.
Incorporating that in schools. Well, we do a lot of school sports, and like he's saying, at a point it cuts off.
The thing is that secondary school is 3 years, high school is 3 years, so every child has opportunity to attend regional game just once. And then if you happen to be admitted in Form 1 during the national festival year, that means you have the opportunity to run twice. But why can't we do this every year? It can be done every year. But and the question again is that we have a lot of high schools in West Africa here. So after the Super Zonals or the national game, they should be able to participate in another West Africa kind of game. You know, so that mentality of competing at high level comes. That's how the athletes will be able to grow.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I love it. I love it. Yeah. So guys, thank you very much for, you know, spending the morning with us and sharing your thoughts with us.
It's fun to have the fastest.
No, I'm just trying to wrap my brain around, you know, the fastest man in Ghana sitting right here.
Think about the 9.97.
Yeah, that's and mega. You know, I remember, I think my first Olympics that I really understood, I was watching Olympics. I think it was what 86. What? You know,
88 or
88?
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's looking at me and saying, can't believe it. I think it was like 86, you know, and then of course, I think 90 was the big one for me.
So that must be what, 92?
92
Barcelona.
92 Barcelona. Yes. Yeah. No, which one was Korea?
Korea was
88. Yeah, so it was Korea rather. Okay. Korea rather was a big one for me. Yeah. You know, so I mean, for me, athletics has always been an exciting thing. You know, so to have you here, it's fantastic. Thank you for spending your morning with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, and all the best. All the best with your events in Kumasi.
Look, we need to see something either from Commonwealth Games or from the World Championship.
The World Championship is in the US.
Yeah, it's in the US.
So it's in the US.
Yeah.
Sure. No problem.
Wishing you all the best. We're rooting for you right from here.
Thank you.
All right.